Hey guys, this is a quick how-to on how to set up the FPV for your Phantom 2. The parts I'm utilizing are the DJI Phantom 2 quadcopter, the IOSD Mini on-screen display from DJI. I'm also using the Zemuse H3 2D gimbal and the HD GoPro Black 3 Plus edition. So I'll quickly describe where the video output comes in and out, and I'll also talk about the install. So first things first, the video signal comes into the GoPro, goes out of the GoPro into the Zemuse gimbal. Coming out of the gimbal via a flat ribbon cable, or not really ribbon cable, but an 8-pin or 9-pin connector goes into your main board. Now this is where a user would actually get to do some customization. If you'll notice, coming out of the main board, you will see right next to that same cable that the GoPro utilizes is a 4-pin cable. It's yellow, brown, red, brown. The yellow, brown is your video. The yellow is your video and your brown is your ground. It's going to come out of this cable, so you basically will take the two wires out of that cable, out of that plug, and you're going to connect them to the IOSD video input, which is actually the same coloration. It's yellow and brown. You connect yellow to yellow, brown to brown, no problem. I used soldered mine and put some heat shrink on it and just kind of tire it up to make it look nice. Now at this point, the IOSD is going to give it its information that it needs to put on your display, or on your goggles, or your monitor, whatever you're going to use. Coming out of your IOSD Mini, you're going to have a video out and a ground, which is orange and brown. These two wires are going to go into your video transmitter. Now, if you're utilizing a Fat Shark like I am, coming into the Fat Shark, you're going to have a 5-pin plug, which has left and right audio, a red positive, a yellow, and then a black for ground. You only need the black and the yellow. You can leave the other wires in if you want. Me, I didn't. I like it clean, so I just kind of pulled the pins out of it. So I'm only utilizing the yellow and the ground, which is black. So where does this go? Again, the yellow on the video transmitter gets connected to the orange on the video out. The ground wire, which is brown on the IOSD, is going to go to the black wire on the video transmitter coming out of that 5-pin plug. That basically is how the video works. Comes out of the GoPro, gets pushed into the main board, comes out of the main board. It has to go to the IOSD so the IOSD can tell it what to show. Battery percentages, altitude, things like that. Then it kicks out to the video transmitter. Video transmitter kicks out to your goggles or your monitor or whatever. So now let's talk about power. The power on that same 4-prong plug, that same 4-pin plug that we were just talking about that had the video, the two next to the video are a red and a brown. The red is your positive, your brown is your negative, or your ground. Those two wires are then going to power your video transmitter. If you're using a Fat Shark, the Fat Shark comes with this power filter board thing. Anyway, I mounted mine underneath here. If you notice, it sits right there. Use some double stick tape, which you can get at any. I use this tape. It's really good. It's gray and it's got a red backing to it. It's like industrial stuff. You don't have to use very much of it, and it sticks in cold and heat and everything else. You can get it at Home Depot, at Lowe's. It's made by 3M or Scotch, if I'm mistaken. Anyway, didn't use very much of it, but it will fit underneath here, tucked nicely against that back wall, that side wall. The battery doesn't hit it when it slides in. So those two wires, which are your red and your brown, here and here. Red is your positive, brown is your negative. They're going to go into the power filter board. Now, if you're curious about the power filter board, okay, you need either a 2S, 3S, or 4S balance lead. In this case, I had an old battery. I cut it off one at a time so you don't short it out. You only need the outer 2 pins because that gives you your total voltage. So you'll cut that lead, you'll take this lead, and you'll solder the wires, only the two. The end two don't matter. It's just the outer 2 that matter. Red to red and brown to black. That'll go into the power filter board. Coming out of the power filter board, at that point it's plug and play. You've got a black plug there that goes outside. It goes down this leg. Sorry, I'm thinking you can see it. Comes down the leg with the Zemuse cable and goes right into the video transmitter. Basically, that's it. That's your power. Some people use that filter board. Some don't. I've never not used it. Up here it gives you interference. I don't know if it's true or not. Anyway, so how'd the install come out with the cleanliness with the CAN bus? Because if you remember, the CAN bus was over on this leg and it was kind of hanging out here in the breeze. I didn't like the way it looked, so I undid the CAN bus and basically stuck it right behind. If you notice, this is where your the front of the craft is. right behind this little Phantom name, if you will, there's a little spot right here, which the battery doesn't hit, and it seems to fit perfectly. I put the CAN bus cable vertically with some double stick tape, and I know if you look at the CAN bus cable, it does have a plug. Be very careful. It's got a little tab. I can get this thing to focus. This little tab right here actually pushes in, and you can lift this cable right out. Once that cable's out of that big CAN bus connector, it'll slide through that hole. You can feed it around, come like I just kind of tucked mine, but you can tuck it around this way, double stick tape your CAN bus here, plug this in, CAN bus is done at that point. You're going to need the CAN bus, the side plug for your mini OSD, but that's just plug and play it. This black cable just comes around this way and then wraps through, and then at that point plugs into your CAN bus here, and that's a wrap. If you notice, you can kind of see it here. I kind of tucked it there. Let's get some light on it there. The battery does not hit it at all. It seems to fit perfectly. So basically, yeah, that's the install. I did update, before I did anything, I did update the firmware on the iOSD. I believe the firmware was actually okay in the Craft. I don't remember off the top of my head. But hey guys, I wanted to put this in the video as well. This is a real time of how the iOSD works. Not that I can show you a whole lot, just kind of how the horizon indicator rolls with the Craft. As you can see, it's sitting on. The video transmitter is turned on, and it's running through the video transmitter antenna, which is here. It hits my Fat Shark goggles with a built-in receiver. There's the antenna. Now, it'd be kind of hard to show you through the goggles with this little camera, so what I did is I ran a video out to here, which is going to a little DVD player. It's got your voltage, it's got a percentage, it's got some other stuff. There's your satellites and 9 there, and up and down attitude and whatnot. So it's also showing it's in ATT mode. Basically, we'll lift it up. My arm will get in the way, but if you notice, even though the Craft tilts, the gimbal kind of keeps it straight, but also your horizon indicator rolls with it as well. So it's kind of neat, man. So anyway.